गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. Om Shri Gangai Nathay Namah. Jai Shri Gurudev. Jai Shri Dada Gurudev. Jai Shri Gurudev to all of you, those who are watching this session. I welcome everyone on this session of Siddha Yoga, Guru Siyag Siddha Yoga. In this session, we discuss about Pyare Shri Gurudev, Shri Ramlal ji Siyag, and his teachings and his knowledge through his books. Shri Gurudev Ramlal ji Siyag has written two books. First is Religious Revolution in the World, which we already have covered in 12 sessions. Very brief sessions, half an hour each. It describes the complete information about Guru Siyag Siddha Yoga, how to get initiate, what are the benefits, and lot of other things which you need to know as a new practitioner into the Siddha Yoga. You can follow those 12 sessions and you would know that. Okay. Second book, which is written by Gurudev, is very deep in spiritual knowledge. In this book, Gurudev is telling us what are the prophecies made by Jesus Christ in the Holy Bible, and what are those points which we must read and understand. The comforter which Jesus said would come is Shri Gurudev Ramlal ji Siyag, and it is not that he is just saying that he is the comforter, but he is asking us to check whether he is a comforter or not, because every prophecy made by Jesus in the Holy Bible is coming true about the life of Shri Gurudev. It's not only the prophecies made by Jesus in the Holy Bible, but also many foretellers, astrologers, they have did the prophecies about the comforter, that when he will come and how the revolution will take place, how the religious revolution will take place. Beside that, the main whom we adore so much is Maharishi Shri Aurobindo. He has given a new sight to the entire world by defining the light. He is bringing down the light on the earth, how he is enlightening the matter, the earth, instead of ascending upwards to the Sahasrara, he did exactly opposite. He brought down the Sahasrara on the earth petal. Gurudev Shri Ramlal ji Siyag is the same light who resides at the Sahasrara, and with the Shri Maharishi Aurobindo, he came down as a descent of Krishna in the physical form, which is called the overmind. Krishna is not the supermind, but he is in the physical form as Gurudev overmind. He prepares us for the supermind so that we can get yoga with the Shri Krishna, because Krishna is Anandamai, and only the supermind can reach to the state of Ananda. So once those who will be prepared by the overmind, Shri Gurudev Ramlal ji Siyag, will be transformed from mind to supermind in the Anandamaya Kosha to get yoga with the Shri Krishna. This is the entire process which Shri Aurobindo explained how it will be done. This is the prophecy. Now, the Gurudev Shri Ramlal ji Siyag is proving that prophecy right. I myself, being a disciple of Shri Gurudev Ramlal ji Siyag, I feel this is exactly what is happening with me. I cannot say about everybody, but yes, many people are transforming into the super mind. But because it is about taking the guarantee, I am taking my own guarantee that my transformation is being done by only and only Shri Gurudev Pyare, lovingly Shri Gurudev Ramlal ji Siyag. So today we are these days we are reading Gurudev's second book, which is Prophecies from the Holy Bible, and we are reading the chapter word being the creator of all beings. This is the most tremendous chapter uh, I have come across. Though the entire book is tremendous, but when we go through each chapter, we feel it, we download it within our heart, into our heart. So it feels very special because I do Gurudev's Hindi sessions also. Before this session, lot of things clarifies in Hindi sessions, which I feel overjoyed. Today, the same chapter we discussed in the Hindi in very detailed manner, and with examples we saw it. So this is a great chapter if somebody pays full attention to the understanding of this chapter, what Gurudev wants to say. He can be, feel very joyous and blissful, and you can understand uh, this writing of Gurudev only when you do the sadhana, when you do the Nam Jap, you do the mental chanting of the mantra. Only then it is possible to understand this. This chapter is entirely based on the mantra chanting, the importance of the mantra, how mantra created everything, God's name is the mantra, and how it can back liberate us to get associate to yoga with the back to our source, how all this how all this being created and how we go back. This is such a fabulous, such a great learning for us to understand how spiritual journey takes place, and how and from where does it start, and how Gurudev helps us to attain to the moksha. This is great learning. If I get more understanding about it, I'll put it through this chapter and in the end of the chapter, because, or maybe through the chapter when we will be undergoing this chapter. I hope whatever session I did in Hindi, I could replicate some portion of it with my understanding, with Guru's grace, into English chapter also. So I'll try my best, and I ask for the blessings of Shree Gurudev, which is always with me. Only because of his blessings, this is possible. This chapter is happening. This session is happening. Okay, let's start our today's session from the paragraph where we left yesterday. I'm just recalling the last paragraph from the last chapter, that we were reading the poem by the Sant Kabir, and we understood the meaning, spiritual meaning of it. And the meaning was, Lord Krishna was a perfect incarnation, and he was highly skilled in all the 16 forms of arts. In the reference from the Prashno Upanishad, which is a small book from the Grantha, Atharva Veda, I guess, we come across a saying that the Parama Purusha had created the 16th element. The name, the 16th element is the name. It is with the help of this word that, after piercing all the remaining elements, the living being merges into Paramatman. This fusion is earthly and heavenly elements is moksha. The principle of attainment of Param Brahma through Shabd Brahma has been described by all our sages and saints as the only true path for attaining salvation. This is being such a great learning, that this mantra is the 16th element and the last element, and through this element we can pierce back all the 15 elements, which are being the cause of the creation of the entire world. So if we have the last element, we can pick it up and we can go back to the source. This is what this is saying. And the 16th element, being Krishna, is a complete incarnation. Only he is being adorned with all the 16 arts or 16 elements. So he is the complete incarnation, and only he is capable to provide us the completeness. That is why the Krishna has descended down as overmind in the form of Shree Gurudev in physical on the earth, as described by Shri Maharishi Aurobindo. Okay, the sadhak, the practitioner, can attain the Parampad only on the strength of the word. That means, as much as you do the mental chanting, and when you do the mental chanting, you process further into the ajapajap, then into the nad, and when you strengthen this word, only then you attain the parampad, the yoga with the Prabrahma. Strengthen the word. The mantra, received as a grace from his Sant Sadguru. In expounding the procedure to reach to this pad, poet Sant Shri Kabir Das ji has beautifully described in a very simple language the divine bliss that the sadhaka practitioners enjoys and other experiences that he gains during this journey of his. He says, I'll read it in Hindi so I can enjoy reading it. जो कोई निर्गुण दर्शन पावे, प्रथमे सुरति जमावे तिल पर, मूल मंत्र गही लावे, गगन गराजे दामिनी दम के अनहद नाद बजावे, बिन जिम्मा नाम ही को सुमिरे, अमीरस अजर चुबावे, ऐजपा लगी रहे सुरती पर, नैन न पलक डुलावे, गगन मंदली में फूल फुलाना, उहाँ भंवर रस पावे, इंगला पिंगला सुखमणि शोधे, प्रेम ज्योति लो पावे, सुन्न महल में पुरुष विराजे, जहाँ अमर घर छावे, कहे कबीर सतगुरु, बिनु चिन्हे कैसे वह घर पावे. तो it is Sant Kabir is describing the beauty of the nad of the word, how the sadhak goes into the different stages and ascend to the Sahasrara, and he says it is how it is possible without the grace of Gurudev. So it is only with the grace of Gurudev someone can ascend to the Sahasrara through all these padas, all these stages, only with the help of the mantra, the word provided by the Sant Sadgurudev. Otherwise it is not possible. Literal meaning, let's read also what is written here. The true path to realize the nirguna is to first of all grasp perfectly the original mantra and then to meditate on it with the concentration directed towards the Ajna Chakra, the obedient circle. What follows thereafter would be that there would be deafening, thundering, and intense lightning in the sky. That is to say that the sadhak, a practitioner, would see different kinds of divine lights. He would also experience different kinds of nad, sound in different notes, be they musical or others. He must engage himself in silent repetition of the mantra, the word given by Sadguru. The tongue, in consequences, would enjoy the sweetness of the fresh honey. Concentrate on the unutterable word and do not move the eyes and the eyelids. In the sky or the Sahasrar, the 1,000-petaled flower is to be brought to full bloom, where the inner Shakti would enjoy the sweet taste of the nectar. During its ascent, Mother Kundalini purifies the Ida, Pingala, and the Sushumna nadis and kindles the flame of love. The Supreme Being sits in the royal palace in the void, where there is an internal dwelling house. Sant Kabir says, how can one locate that place on his own without it being pointed out to him by a Sadguru? Spiritual meaning, for taking to spiritual life and attaining the highest perfection in it, one has to initially receive initiation from a Sant Sadgurudev. Then meditate on the word or the mantra that he receives from his Sadguru by his grace, and finally keep up with his yoga and sadhana continuously and regularly. This alone would lead him to realize the Supreme Being. People from the Western countries also believe in the Word being the cause of creation of the universe, but they, however, lack the capability of realization of Param Brahma through the Shabda Brahma, word called Brahma. The holy soul who had come to impart this knowledge to them was ruthlessly crucified by their ancestors without any reason. Jesus Christ had the premonition of this event, which is why he did not baptize anybody. He solely engaged himself in preaching activities. Prophetism, therefore, cannot imagine of directly realizing and seeing God. Has anyone ever attained salvation by repeatedly crying hours of eternal life? Eternal life? Such a slogan may prove helpful in beguiling people of the present age. But will it bring forth any result? We, the believers in the theory of incarnation, also are much the same. They are forcibly propagating their religion with the help of money power and manpower. Power we have none. God is a subject matter of direct realization and seeing. Are the Westerners capable of proving this basic principle of the Indian philosophy? We may be mistaken in considering ourselves as more knowledgeable, but then who would accept such fallacious people? We, when once accept the principle of the world having been created by word, we will also have to agree that place where from the uh, babe speaks can be reached through the flow of stream of the word. Mahayogi Shri Gorakhnath Ji in this context has said, बस्ती न शून्यम शून्यम न बस्ती अगम अगोचर ऐसा गगन शीशर मही बालक बोले ताक नाव घर होगे कैसा. Gorakhnath Ji says this. Literally translated, it means that the transcendental world where God resides is neither a complete void and nor is it uninhabited. The only link between practitioners and the baby, the God, is the word that he speaks from the ethereal dwelling house. Ethereal dwelling house. His word enables the practitioner to comprehend the inaccessible and imperceptible him. Thus, there is a constant flow of words either way, and as such, no name like attribute can be assigned to him. In the Nath Panth, they have it said that Siddhi cannot be attained without the constant repetition with adoration of his name. Creator and father of the yoga system, Rishi Patanjali has been very emphatic in saying that jap of name is most essential for realization of God. Chanting of the God's name is the most essential for realizing God. Words are not the carriers of the feelings only, but they are also the very soul of spiritual preaching. Rishi Shri Patanjali Rishi, he has described the importance of God's name in the yoga in the Samadhi path, chapter from 23 to 29, which are given in the Hindi book. Actually, I will just read it out. 24, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So what I'll do, I'll just do the Hindi translation. He says, क्लेश, कर्म, विपाक और आशय इन चारों से जो संबंधित नहीं है तथा जो समस्त पुरुषों से उत्तम है वह ईश्वर है. He says, the God who is not bounded by the karmic impurities like klesh. Klesh means we have different vrittis which are due to subject oriented, like klesh means if I am fearful of something, this is the fear is the one of the klesh, one of the uh, quarrel, one of the quarrel. So klesh is quarrel of our own acceptance. There are five different types of quarrels which are defined in the Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, and the God is free of all those five. Then he says he's free also from the karma, that means the doings, the he never took birth, because we all human, we all have taken birth, we all have done some karmas and everything, but the God, the real God, whom we are going to get yoga with, he never taken the birth. So he was never involved himself into doing the karma, so he was always free of it. He is defining about who God is. And similarly he defines vipak and ashay. He does not depend on anything, he is free from every bondage, he is free from that. So he is the God, and he says he is पुरुषों से उत्तम वह ईश्वर है. He is greater of all the human being ever born, because whoever has born has created some karma, but the Ishwar is above all of those who have taken born, because he never took any birth, and he is free from any karmas. So he is most pious, he is the God. Then he says उसमें ईश्वर में सर्वज्ञता का बीज ज्ञान नितिशय है. He says he is beyond the knowledge, he is the complete knowledge. All the knowledges in front of him are incomplete, he is the only seed of complete knowledge. So being the complete in everything, he is being the forefather of our forefathers, he is the forefather of all the generations. And all the human being in entire history, or all the pranis, or all the living beings ever taken birth on this entire birth, he is beyond everyone, he is a forefather of everyone, he is God. Then he says uska kaal se avched nahi hai. He is not bounded by the time, he is beyond the time, he is the God. उस ईश्वर का वाचक नाम प्रणव है. He is being identified with the word Om, वाचक ओम, प्रणव ओम. उस नाम का जप और उसके अर्थ स्वरूप परमेश्वर का चिंतन. Then he says the continuous repetition of his name, like Om. So Om is general for everyone, but we are given the name of that God by the Sadguru, which is we called the Sanjivani Mantra. That is his name. So he says, Patanjali Rishi says, without repetition of his name, the Sanjivani Mantra given by Sadgurudev, and meditating on his picture, says Arth Savroop Parmeshwar, means what we see him, how we see him. The only face of the God on the planet is Sadgurudev. So we must meditate on our Gurudevs on our forehead, and must keep chanting the mantra given by the Gurudev, without which we cannot have yoga with the Parabrahm. This is what Patanjali Rishi says. Then he says, चिंतन करना उक्त साधन ईश्वर के नाम जप से विघ्नों का अभाव, अंतरात्मा के स्वरूप का ज्ञान भी हो जाता है. He says, with the chanting, with the repetitive chanting of the God's name, liberate us from all the bondages. Whatever bondages or whatever the karmas we have already been gone through is done. But in the future we will not be suffering with our ill karmas. So we can escape those ill karmas with the grace of the Guru, provided we must chant the mantra of the God's name given by the Gurudev and meditating on the Gurudev. So only Guru, being a God on this planet, can liberate us with the name of the God. So without the name of the God, we cannot be liberated. And Sadguru, when he comes in our life, being my Sadguru Sri Ramlal ji Siyag, he came into my life. He gave me his name as the divine mantra, which we will hear now. I will play the audio. You will listen that audio. That is God's name He has given me and all other sadhak disciples of His. We are chanting this mantra and we are ascending towards the God. This is the way Gurudev has shown us the importance of the mantra, which Patanjali Rishi says into the Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs yoga, 195 aphorism, and the first part, the first chapter, Samadhi path, from 23 to 29 shlokas are dedicated to the Ishwar, to the God, God's name, importance of God's name in the yoga. This is the whole chapter about the importance of the word, about importance of the mantra given by Shree Gurudev Ramlal ji Siyag. Okay, this is the chapter done. Tomorrow we will start next chapter. This next chapter is going to be important for us because this is Gurudev when said this. Many people got upset, might get upset when they start reading this chapter, specifically Christian, because the chapter is being called Is Christianity Incomplete? So if any Christian brother will listen to this, he might get upset, but he should not get. But when we complete this chapter and this book, we will understand why Gurudev said this. With complete faith, respect, Gurudev said, with complete respect, with complete importance to the Christianity and the people of follower of Christianity, I am daring to take this chapter with the orders of my Gurudev Shri Gangai Ji. I am putting up this chapter in front of you. That's what he says, and what he wants to say, we must listen to it. So tomorrow we'll start this chapter and let's see what Gurudev wants to say us. Now we will listen to the divine mantra of Shri Gurudev, and we will hear that word which will liberate us.
What does yoga mean? Yoga means a union of the soul with God or the universal consciousness force. What are the benefits of Siddha Yoga? Siddha Yoga heals, cures or frees the body from any physical illness, aids various forms of cancers, diabetes, arthritis, asthma, and even genetic disease like hemophilia. In the case of disease such as AIDS, which attacks the entire body, the patient may experience internal kriyas like sensation or heat, electricity or tingling. According to Siddha Yoga philosophy, the divine power awakened by the enlightened Guru gets transmitted through his blissful voice to the listeners, irrespective of language spoken by the Guru. This divine power transmissions occurs smoothly and remain unaffected by the language being used. The regular practice of Siddha Yoga strengthens the immune system. The Kundalini acts as a protective shield of the immune system and wards off the onslaught or recurrence of any disease. Impact of Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini makes the practitioner perform kriyas that are specific to his needs. With this cleaning, the practitioner is cured of all kinds of chronic and even terminal disease such as HIV, AIDS, cancer, arthritis, etc. and genetic disorder like hemophilia. Mental application too are completely cured and stress is completely relieved. Cling, Krishna, cling, Kling, Krishna, Kling, 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 Kling, Krishna, Kling.
This is the divine mantra by Shree Gurudev. Listening to his voice, talking about him, taking me into the meditation. I'm getting into the meditation. Shambhavi Mudra is automatically getting locked up, and this is the power of the divine word. I welcome everyone on this path of spirituality. Please check out more details about Gurudev Shri Ramlal Ji Siyag and about his initiation. More chapters you can find, sessions in Hindi, whatever we have done previously, and you will have more information about it. If you still have any question regarding this Guru Siyag Siddha Yoga, then you can give me comments, or you can WhatsApp me also with your name and your question on my WhatsApp number. 91 is our Indian country code, +91, and my number is 8777 21139. This is my WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp me with your question. We'll take up into the next session. We will meet tomorrow according to Indian time around 8:30, 8:45, and till then, Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Ram.